If you've never heard of the Three Rivers Challenge, this is where you don't go to the grocery store at all for January and February and you eat through your entire pantry. But can this be done as a housewife who doesn't have a homestead? That's the question. Hello, my name is Shani, and this year we are committing to the Three Rivers Challenge. Now, this is something that was originally put out by the Three Rivers Homestead, and she wanted to challenge her family to eat through all of their canned goods that they had produced in the last year to get ready for the upcoming season. I think part of the intention was also to be a low spend January, which a lot of people do in order to financially recover from Christmas and the holiday season and all of the excess spending that we do in that month. This is a challenge that I've really wanted to participate in for years, to be honest, and this year is definitely the right time for it. I am currently dedicating all of my time to my YouTube channel, so what a better time frame to start a challenge that requires you to cook basically every meal at home. I want to bring you guys along with me because a lot of what you see with the Three Rivers Challenge is homesteaders, and one day that will definitely be me. I do have some canned goods that I put up myself, but for the most part I am still getting all of my food from a grocery store. I wanted to demonstrate that this is more accessible than just homesteading, because if you are somebody who preps or buys discount food to have on hand or anything like that, you are going to end up with a surplus unless you're really good about eating through everything. And last year I might have gone a little bit crazy. I have such an abundance of food. Here is a picture of my pantry. Here's a picture of my inside fridge freezer combo. And here's a picture of my outdoor freezer. A lot of this food is stuff that I bought for my partner, and it's either stuff that I don't like or is meat, so I won't be consuming. So I'm not going to be able to clear out everything because he is working away for the month. A lot of the meat stuff is just going to stay where it's at. But my intention is to get through as much of my stuff as I can. So this starts on January 1st, and that is today, the day of filming. For breakfast this morning, I had some jalapeno cheese sourdough toast and some scrambled eggs with cheese. Usually the intention is that you don't set foot into a grocery store. Everybody on my channel knows that that's not going to happen because I take my grandfather grocery shopping once or twice a week. So I am going to be going into stores, and I'm going to be honest, if I see really good deals, I'm probably still going to get them, which is no. But I think since this is my first year, I am going to do kind of a modified version with the intention of just eating through my back stash of especially my freezer stuff, because a lot of that has freezer burn and I kind of just need to get through it or throw away things. I have seen a lot of families and homesteaders who actually do their big Azure purchase right before they start this so that they can replenish what they have and they never actually run out. I'm going to do it a little bit differently, and it is just me. I'm not worried about feeding any children, so I don't have to like stress about them being hungry or anything like that. But I'm gonna really push and try to be creative with meals and come up with different things. I have plenty of freezer food and pantry staples. With that being said, there are a couple things that I'm gonna allow myself to get. Things such as protein sources for vegetarian. I do have beans and lentils on hand, but there is really only so much of that I can eat, and so much that I can eat in a day. So eggs I will continue purchasing, yogurt I will continue purchasing, and maybe a cottage cheese or two. I think I have enough milk to last me for the whole challenge, or at least for January. I might have to get another thing of milk in February. I definitely have enough coffee, which is kind of a good thing that I'm going to get through all of my coffee. And I don't actually have very many cans of fruit, so things like bananas, apples, a couple pieces of fruit here and there will probably purchase throughout the week, as well as fresh vegetables. But I do have quite a bit of canned and frozen vegetables, so I'm going to make it a priority to eat those first. I do acknowledge that I have a little bit of food hoarding tendencies, and that definitely stemmed from my childhood. Foods that are special you kind of just hold on to, and I'm a little bit of a prepper, so that is part of it. And I like to buy food on sale and with really good discounts. It's going to be a little bit difficult for me to go through my whole stash and not replenish it right now, since I do generally buy food that is near expiration date. I do need to eat through all of it so that I can replenish it and have it be not stuff that's going 3 or 5 years without being rotated through. Everyone is welcome to join me on this challenge. I'm committing to a month. We might do 2 months. I don't eat a lot of food anyways, so I have a feeling that it's gonna take me 2 months, maybe even 3 months to get through all of my food. It's a time to really stretch your creativity, try to be really resourceful, which is something that our vintage housewives should be practicing anyways, and really come up with some cool dishes. Every week I am gonna put out a video of the things that I combine and the meals that I come up with. I think that allrecipes.com is gonna be a best friend of mine. I'm really really excited for this challenge. I'm really excited for the opportunity to learn and grow and really see what I can come up with this month. For January 1st, I actually ended up having a late lunch. So I made a candied yams using the leftover Swiss meringue, some Parmesan breadsticks that were left over from New Year's, and a veggie patty with cheese on it and Arby's sauce. And then I ended up having a midnight snack of eggnog, a granola bar, yogurt, and a ice cream bar. Breakfast today is some very old, very freezer burnt egg bites that I made. I didn't like them when I made them, but was trying not to waste them. I think I just put too much stuff and sweetness in them. I think I did a waffle base and did syrup and sausage and spinach and freeze-dried tomatoes. They're sweet and weird. But I'm gonna eat them up because obviously I didn't want to throw them away. I didn't want to waste it all. The sausage meat alternative is really expensive. I really didn't want to waste it. And then I'm having my last pre-made coffee, so I'm gonna have to start making it for myself, which is fine. I have plenty of coffee grounds. Today we are doing our shopping with Grandpa. There's a couple things that I forgot to tell you that I was planning to pick up. There's a custard meringue pie that I am experimenting with and trying to make. I missed one of the steps on the custard when I made it with Sarah last week. I think that video came out this week, so you guys should be able to see that. So I will be getting mandarin oranges for that so that I can have what I've been trying to make for the last week. And the other thing that I will be buying consistently is my body armor drinks. I do need those medically. I have to keep my electrolytes up, so those are an exception. I guess it's kind of the same thing as like a necessity. Wish me luck on not buying too much other stuff or anything else. I ate them all, and honestly, they weren't that bad. I should have just eaten them before. All right, let's go shopping. Well, grocery outlet is a bit of a weakness. I definitely bought some stuff today. Well, I should say Grandpa bought some stuff. You guys don't know Grandpa, but if Grandpa says you're getting something, you're getting it. I got cheese, which was part of the plan. A 10-pound bag of potatoes because they were on a great deal. And then I got just puffed wheat cereal. I got ice cream. I did not need this. It bars have been one of my favorites since I was in middle school. They used to sell them in middle school, and the mini ones are not something I've ever seen before, and that's what I had for lunch. Grandpa insisted that I get some of these because they were on clearance. We got some of these because they were on clearance too, and you can't find these very much anymore. I got the mandarins and oranges that I need for my custard. I got some jasmine rice, but this is mostly to cook up for Grandpa because he's never had it and he was very confused as to why it was more expensive. So I'm gonna make him some jasmine rice. I got a really interesting product. So last night I was watching Taste of History with Max Miller, and if you don't watch that channel and you like, it's really vintage food, honestly, but historical stories about food, that's a really good one. So last night I was watching an episode on his YouTube channel. The video was about alternatives that people used during the Civil War to coffee because they were not able to get coffee during the war. The one that he made was barley and sweet potato, like that was a coffee alternative. He also said that chicory was one that was commonly made and all of that, and I was like, wow, this is fascinating, right? I get into the store and in the coffee aisle they have Cafix, and if you read it right there, it says instant grain beverage, and I was like, what does that mean? The ingredient: barley, chicory, barley malt, figs, and sugar beets. Are you kidding me? What are the odds that they have this product that I've never heard of the day after I watched that show? So I kind of had to get that one, right? Like I'm gonna have to let you guys know how that tastes. It's caffeine free. I got some rice wrappers because these were $1, and that's unheard of. I got some biscotti because I got the coffee. I don't know. That one I probably shouldn't have gotten, but I did. I splurged on that. I got another powdered milk because it is on sale. I think it was $1.50 for this. I am going to use up my other can this month, so I'm kind of pre-restocking because I never know when they're going to have this, especially on sale like that. We got brownie mix. I'm going to make them for Grandpa, but I'm also going to eat some. We got some Gardein. This one is sweet and sour pork. And then I got some of the mandarin chicken. One of the sweet and sour porks is for Grandpa. I'm going to cook it up for him. He doesn't have an oven or a stovetop that works right now, and he's happy with that. Like, don't come for me. He likes his microwave. And so I'm going to cook up anything that needs the oven or stovetop for him. And I got some snack packs, which again, I maybe shouldn't have. Those just fell out. But tapioca, 4 packs for $1. Now I just have to prioritize eating through everything else. It's so hard to go to the store that has all the good deals and not get anything. I also got bananas in my body armor drinks. Again, those are a necessity for me. So far, day 2 of no spend, low spend, and I failed. That's okay. We'll make it work. I'll see you guys inside for dinner. Second day dinner, I went really easy. I just had a jalapeno cheese mac and cheese cup and some eggnog. Good morning, good morning. It is January 3rd. Today is Wednesday, so we're about halfway through this Eat Through the Pantry challenge for this week. I woke up with a little bit of a sore throat, so I am just going to take it easy today, but I decided that I would make a baked oatmeal for breakfast this morning. I am also heating up some water so that we can try the Cathix, which is the barley, chicory, fig, and sugar beet coffee alternative. I figured this would be really nice on my throat today, so we're going to try it. I'm going to be using Becky from Acre Homestead's baked oatmeal as a guideline to start mine. I'm kind of throwing some things together here though. So I bought these oatmeals at a salvage store and I thought that I would love them and that they would be amazing, but they don't have very much flavor. They're pretty bland, honestly. So I'm going to use these in my baked oatmeal. Maybe the texture difference will make it a little bit more appealing. I'm also going to add some yogurt because I don't have much applesauce. I have a little bit of applesauce, but it's supposed to be like a cup and a half of applesauce. So I'm going to add yogurt for some extra moisture in there and some extra protein. And then to give it a little bit more flavor, I'm going to add a couple of my frosted protein cookies. I think that's all that I'm kind of modifying. And then if I am starting to get sicker, I have breakfast prepped for the next week or so, basically. Let's go ahead and get that made. I don't really know what it smells like. It doesn't smell directly like coffee. Don't exhale into it. It smells a little sweet though, and a little kind of chocolatey. It actually doesn't smell bad. I'm pretty excited. In my bowl here, I'm gonna measure 3 cups of my instant oats. Looks like one packet is about a third, just under a third. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to measure them all. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna call that 3 packets as a cup. I'm just gonna add 6 more packets in here. I am really happy to be using it up like this. I hope it turns out at least edible. And if I like it, I do have a whole nother box of this flavor. I can always mix in some regular oats if I don't have quite enough. Doesn't it look good though? It looks like it would taste so amazing. I think since these are instant oats, I'm going to bake it for less time, and I think I might reduce the liquid. I'm going to measure out, just going to put my oatmeal in here to measure it out for liquid. And same thing with my yogurt. I'm going to put the yogurt in here too. I think I'm going to do the full cup and a half of this. Well, cup and a half of this with the applesauce. And then the milk is where I will reduce it if I feel like that's necessary. All right, just pouring all of that into here. I'm going to do cup of milk to start with, and we'll see what the texture looks like at that point. I did just over a cup because this milk is almost gone, so I'm going to finish it up. I'm just going to get this stirred together. I want to say it looks yummy, but it looks like soupy, which is fine. It'll bake. I hope these oats absorb enough of this liquid. Hers was really wet too, so I'm not terribly concerned, but we still have to add 4 eggs. She said that her family doesn't really notice a difference between 1 or 4 to 6 eggs. I think I'm going to do 4 and hope that it gets a little bit of a cakier substance. I don't know. Give it enough to rise on and make it a little bit healthier. I definitely don't think that I need another half cup of milk with how wet that is. Oh, these eggs are breaking so poorly. One of my pet peeves is how inconsistent the shells on eggs can be. All right. Might actually also help me not get burnt out from eating eggs. I have to work very, very hard to get enough protein in my diet. It is certainly not an easy feat. I don't like that it has to be so much processed food in order for me to accomplish that. Maybe this month I'll learn how to use beans and lentils more. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think it looks about the same as hers. Now I'm going to add my little cookies here. I absolutely love these cookies. They're kind of expensive. They don't have a lot of, I don't think they have any sugar. I think it's a little bit of sugar alternative. And they are pretty cakey and delicious, to be honest. They've got 5 grams of protein for one. Yeah, it uses erythritol, so it depends on if you're okay with eating that or not. I may end up grabbing a third one even. Usually crumble it up just straight into my yogurt, and that is really tasty. Like a tasty little dessert. Okay, I think that's probably enough cookie because I don't want it to be overwhelmingly cookie. I want to be able to taste the oatmeal itself too, and just wanted to add a little bit to it. I think that is probably good. Okay, I have my greased baking dish. I hope this is big enough. We're gonna find out, aren't we? I think it is. We're just gonna do it. Maybe it'll be a mess later. Who knows? If I remember right, when I just watched her make this, the one that she made, it was pretty full too. I feel safe because Becky did it this way, and Becky is the best. If you guys haven't checked out her channel, it's Acre Homestead. After you finish watching this one, you should go and check her out. I don't think she's doing the 3 Rivers Challenge. She hasn't mentioned it that I've noticed, but her whole life is kind of the 3 Rivers Challenge. She's a homesteader and she does some amazing, what she's most well known for is her freezer meals. She preps meals for her family like none other. She's very impressive. That looks amazing. I'm actually really excited for that. So I think I'm going to start it at half an hour in the oven because it is the instant oats. I don't think it's going to take as long as hers did. I think for her, she did regular rolled oats and I think it was in for about an hour. We're going to check it at half an hour and see how we're doing. I am so sorry for the lighting. I just realized 2 of my bulbs are out in my kitchen. It's really nice and dark like coffee. I'm going to taste test this plain first. I don't like black coffee, so I'll probably end up sweetening it, but let's see. It tastes just like coffee, which is why it's bitter. Oh my gosh. How though? Like how? It's rye. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna add some sweetener to it and warm it back up because I apparently let it sit for too long. Okay, I added as much sweetened vanilla creamer as I normally do. It's really good, like really good. It tastes just like coffee. What even? I'm also going to link the video for the tasting history with Max Miller down below so that you can see the history of this and why this is super impressive. This looks and smells phenomenal. It smells like a big batch of cookies and it is just amazing. I ended up cooking it for 50 minutes and I went until this middle part was no longer wet at all, so when I was touching it nothing was coming off, and then I gave it about 5 more minutes to brown it up and get it really nice and firm. I am so excited to have this over the next couple days. This is going to be amazing. Thank you, Becky, for this recipe. I really think that this is going to taste fantastic. I maybe should have waited for it to cool before I cut it. Let's go ahead and try it. I couldn't wait. That is so good. It's kind of cakey, honestly. To make that into a savory breakfast or even like a sweet and savory where you do the vegetables would be absolutely phenomenal. I think it's just a little bit dry, so I might have overbaked it a bit. I do have a bunch of whipped cream to finish up because I bought a lot of it and didn't go through it with my coffees like I thought it would. I'm gonna put some whipped cream on that. I ended up getting about 10 servings out of it, which tracks for the oatmeal packs because there was 9 packets of oatmeal. That's gonna be a really nice breakfast to have on hand. All right, I will see you guys for lunch. For lunch today, I went with a full comfort meal. I did grilled cheese sandwiches on jalapeno cheese sourdough with tomato soup, and my family likes to do milk instead of water when you're making the concentrated tomato soup. And I love my little tomato soup bowl. For dinner, I did a simple jasmine rice with imitation orange chicken. This is absolutely one of my favorite comfort meals. I used to love orange chicken as a kid, and having the option to get the imitation meat with it from Gardein is really nice. Around bedtime, I decided to make myself a snack, and so I had a hot cocoa with a Biscoff cookie. The cookie actually fell into the hot cocoa shortly after this because I set it down and then went to clean. Welcome to January 4th. For breakfast today, I definitely had some more of the oatmeal bake. I actually spent all evening trying not to eat more of them because they were so delicious and I was just craving them. I also made myself some coffee last night, so I have that. For lunch today, I saved some of my tomato soup, about half of it, because I do not need a whole jar of it myself. So I just did grilled cheese and tomato soup again today. I realized that I haven't been getting very much my vegetables in. So for dinner tonight, I did my leftover orange chicken and rice with some steamed broccoli and a couple of Pop-Tarts on the side. For a snack this evening, I just had a yogurt, and then I ended up having some insomnia until about 4 o'clock in the morning. So I did have a bunch of snacks at that point in time. I made myself some Nutella roll-ups and just had some kind of junk food snacks for that. For January 5th on breakfast, I did scrambled eggs and cheese, 2 mandarin oranges, my oatmeal baked with whipped cream, and my Cafix coffee. It's delicious. And then for lunch, I just reheated the last of the pizza from New Year's, so I'm glad to be done with that. For dinner, I did something really simple because I'm still not feeling great. I had one of my body armors and then some coconut aminos over the leftover rice. For breakfast this morning, I did more of my oatmeal bars. I'm not quite tired of them, but I'm starting to get there. And then I also made some egg bites. They're actually carrot ranch egg bites, so I'm going to perfect the recipe and then provide it for you guys. For lunch today, I had pizza, which was really not great. It actually had a ton of frostbite, so it was kind of soggy. And then my friend's husband made donuts, so they brought one over for me, and it was delicious. That wraps up the first week of the challenge. Join me next Saturday for what I learned this week about myself and about the challenge.